This is KOL, AM and FM, home of Concept 21 in Seattle, home of the Les Williams Show, 9 till 12 noon. KOL time at the end of the automatic timing cycle, 8:30.
This is Vanguard, news of the world for Century 21 Seattle.
This is John Forrest with the KOL Vanguard News, brought to you by Sound Mortgage Company, 710 3rd Avenue. Remember, your money is safe and sound, but sound.
Sound Mortgage Company has sound worth listening to. The sound of dividends piling up for you. Up to 7% quarterly, just like what he found. And every dollar you invest is safe and sound with sound.
Here are this hour's history-making headlines. YouTube briefing today. Venus shot on course. Earthquake shocks in Turkey. And the top story in this fair city. Today is the first day of school, and Seattle police are warning about driving carefully, especially in the residential areas, where at the regular intervals the children will be crossing the street. Watch out for the patrol students. Drive carefully. Make this an accident-free school year. Des Moines. Iowa Governor Norman Earl refused today to stay the execution of convicted slayer Charles Edmund Kelly. The 21-year-old Minneapolis, Minnesota man is scheduled to be hanged at 5:45 tomorrow morning. Pasadena. The Mariner 2 spacecraft successfully changed its course last night in a maneuver that scientists say will take it nearer the planet Venus than first expected. It will go within 9,000 miles, and the feat could give U.S. scientists the first glimpse of Venus at the Vatican City. Pope John the 23rd has issued working rules and made top-level appointments for the historic Ecumenical Council next month. The 10-member council of the presidency, made up of cardinals from 9 nations, head the list of his appointments. In London, the British Home Office has turned down Dr. Robert Soblen's plea against deportation to the United States, where he's to serve a life sentence for wartime spying for the Soviet Union. Home Secretary Henry Brooks says Soblen will be put on a U.S.-bound plane as soon as practicable. Istanbul. Earthquakes struck the northern area of Turkey today near the Soviet border. Reports reaching Istanbul say about 100 persons were injured. And at Algiers, fighting reported at the 3 points south and west of Algiers, despite a ceasefire agreement between strongman Ben Bella and the guerrilla leaders opposing him. According to reports reaching Algiers, fresh fighting broke out between Ben Bella forces moving on the city and guerrilla forces who have been in control. Washington. Secretary of State Rusk, Defense Secretary McNamara, and other high officials are expected to discuss the latest U-2 incident today in a briefing for members of the Senate Foreign Relations and Armed Services Committees. Administration officials say U.S. patrol planes will continue to patrol the areas off the Soviet Union, but that new precautions will be taken to make sure no planes stray over Soviet land. And at the White House, President Kennedy has declared that the United States will use whatever means necessary to block an offensive arms buildup in Cuba. In a statement last night, Mr. Kennedy indicated that the Soviet arms supply to Cuba so far has been defensive in nature. Seattle, Washington. Seattle attorney Lawrence Riegel has pulled out of the race for King County prosecutor. A spokesman for Riegel said the attorney had to withdraw his candidacy because he underwent brain surgery at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota on Saturday. The spokesman said the surgery would make it impossible for Riegel to campaign for that post. In Seattle again, the leader of a United States team planning to climb Mount Everest next spring says he doesn't believe some claims made by the Red Chinese. The Reds claim 3 of their men climbed the 29,026-foot mountain peak in the middle of the night, barefoot and without an oxygen tank.